Hello there, and welcome
to the first part of the Ultimate Guide to Dark Souls. Now, we're going to get straight to this. This is our beginning class. You want to go Bandit, you want to take the Master Key, and everything else can be up to you. But Bandit, Master Key, and we've made our character blue because blue is awesome and we needed to be able to differentiate between our guide build and our test build.
So now that the character's been explained, you want to take Master Key because it's vital in terms of getting these starting soul packets that you need. It gets you to New Londo, gets you your Firekeeper soul, gets you through the gate at the back of New Londo where Blighttown is, gets you a soul packet down near the giant as well. And if you're ballsy, you can grab the stuff that's there. But quickly, this guide is quite simply, we're going to do everything we can in Dark Souls. We're going to pick up every item you can pick up. We're going to cover every single item in the game except items that you cannot pick, that you basically you're not guaranteed. Drop items are the only items that we're going to have an issue with, but we do get quite a few of them anyway.
We do get, like I said, quite a few of the drop items, but we have extensively looked over every single list of every item we can possibly find, and it came to the point where we've found every item in the game. And if there's a random drop weapon, we are going to be at least telling you that enemy will drop that item. This is literally everything in the game. Every NPC quest, even the DLC. This guide is going to get you everything in the game.
Yeah, we even did take the time to go through long quest lines such as Logan's and especially Siegmeyer's. Oh, I hate Siegmeyer's quest. It just leads you somewhere that you can't warp to, which is a pain in the ass. But anyway,
the whole point of this was in fact because every guide that we'd seen on YouTube always missed out certain things. Like there'd always be one video that told you one thing and one video that told you the other. But this guide is, if you're in one area, this will tell you fucking everything about that area. Yeah, and
that's another thing about this guide. Don't search by episode, just search by the area.
If you want
to know everything in Undead Parish, just search Ultimate Guide to Dark Souls, Undead Parish, our video will come up, and then you will see the ultimate guide for Undead Parish, of course, when it's uploaded, which will be in a few days' time.
Not only that, the guide is going to contain lots of different tips and tricks for getting through these areas, not just every item, but how to defeat things, little hints and things that we've also picked up along the way. And the guide also follows a path in what we would say is the optimum route to go through the game. Obviously, there's many different routes that you can take.
Yeah, there's so many different starting runs. I'm sure at some point we'll get a video done that shows you all the different start runs you can make right off the beginning of the game. Or even at that, you can just quite simply look up any speedrun video you can look up. You can even just type into YouTube, quickest, best starting run in Dark Souls, and you will see that people go through the catacombs and grab the Gravelord's sword. They go through Blighttown first because it makes the top part of the game easy on the travel back up to Sen's Fortress.
But then another thing that is actually the only thing that we didn't do was the Covenant items and those things. But we are going to be doing a Covenant guide, so
yeah, we'll have a Covenant guide, how to join the Covenant, where to join the Covenant, the items the Covenant gives you, the purposes of being in the Covenant, etc., for all 9 of the Dark Souls Covenants. But our cutscene's just about coming to the end here. Basically, although we spoke over it, I'll just quickly sum it up for you. Dragons are attacking. This is Gwyn's land of the giants, so Gwyn decides that he's going to kill them all. Seath the Scaleless betrays them and tells them that the scales are the key to their immortality. Gwyn takes off their scales with lightning bolts. Nito inflicts the wounds with poison and disease, and the pyromancers burn down their houses. That's essentially how it happens, and that's why Gwyn splits up his soul with Seath, and he gives it some of his soul to the 4 kings as well, because they were very good in the defense of New Londo, but they became corrupt after all the shit with the dragons anyway. So good idea, Gwyn, good idea.
No real reason for splitting his soul. Whatever.
Yeah,
we're not in it for the story. We're in it to get you the items you fucking need.
Yeah, I mean the story is not brilliant. Like, it's by no means like the best RPG story in the fucking world. It's just
the story's good when you delve into it.
Yeah, it's not so much the story that I find the best. It's the lore that I enjoy the most about this game. But anyway, this is us getting to the start where we're just going to quickly bolt through the Asylum because there is basically nothing to pick up here other than your shield and sword, essentially.
Okay, quickly to introduce this video is going to be taking you from the Undead Asylum and then the starting runs of the game. Now, what we have done is we've created a build that you may want to follow if you're new to the game and you just want to start off. And the build that we made, we just wrecked through the entire game. It was so solid. The way we leveled up made us perfectly balanced for each part of the game, All our items were perfectly balanced as well. In this beginning video just takes you through to Firelink Shrine and then lets us get all the items that we need to start off the build.
Everything works out perfectly from the beginning. The entire point of this build is that we took the bandit because it is quite simply one of the best starting classes.
Yeah, it really is.
The shield is invaluable. The shield blocks poison and toxic that are coming at you. As long as you're blocking, you can't be inflicted with poison and toxic if you're facing the direction it's coming from. What else is there? The battle axe is a really strong, powerful weapon. The bandit starts with 14 strength, which is only 2 less than what we actually need to complete the game with. It's got high vitality, it's got decent endurance. The only thing we had to really level up was attunement and faith, and then a little bit of dexterity, and that was us for like pretty much the full game.
Yeah.
The rest went into vitality and endurance, and you'll see how efficient this starting run is, where we've not even killed a single enemy in the game yet, and we've managed to get our faith up to 12 so that we can use the heal miracle.
We kill a few. A couple. We kill like 4.
Oh yeah, on the way up to a couple of soul packets, yeah. But with all the soul packets in the game and the fact that you can buy the heal miracle right from the beginning off of Patris, then it's as if this is probably the starting run that they wanted people to figure out.
Yeah, it's almost as if this was meant because the souls level out perfectly.
Yeah, you might finish with the odd like maybe 100 souls here or there, but that just depends on the enemies that you're killing really, if you do a lot more than we do. But this part is quite simply bolt through the Asylum because there is nothing here to pick up other than your battle axe and shield, and of course grab your Estus on the way out. So this is something for strength builds. If you're doing a strength build, then take the master key. Don't take the master key, take the black fire bombs here, because when we go through this gate, you might not see it. I don't know if we just ran past it, but the Asylum demon drops down from here. And if you kill him the first time you encounter him, so if you kill him the first time he jumps down, then you will get his weapon from him. But
you
that's
might see
only
him
for
jump down
builds.
here. No, but
Nah.
yeah, when the screen shakes, that's him jump down. But yeah, if you hit him with the fire bombs, you will 100% get the
it only takes 6 fire bombs to kill him. It's a 100% guaranteed drop. So if you're doing a strength build, you start with the Demon Great Hammer. I believe it's got like a 45 strength requirement or something like that.
Or it was like 38. It was pretty high, but
it's a high strength requirement. But you can two-hand it with 27 strength, if I'm right.
And it's the only other place you can get it is from Shiva of the East, I'm sure.
Yeah, you can buy it from Shiva. No, is that not the Taurus Demon Axe?
I think you can get both.
Oh well, we might find out later on in the game when we do take a look into it. But that is the best way to get it. It's the freest way to get it essentially, because there's only so many chances you've got of getting it, and that is really unfortunate. So just here, this is a little trick that I learned that's kind of good. I think we do it.
No, we just run off the edge. But yeah, just watch out for the ball. Everybody knows that, really.
Yeah. There's a little trick that I managed to figure out where if you run up the middle of the stairs and then just run down and hug the left wall while sprinting, the ball won't hit you at all, so you're fine.
So we
he just essentially
Oscar has to say.
No, we don't even listen to what Oscar has to say. We just skip past it all because it's all a bunch of shit. It all repeats itself in the next cutscene anyway, so it's fine. It's just in the Age of Ancients, an undead will be chosen, etc., etc. You're the chosen undead from what we can work out. You want to open this door down here because this will come in handy when you come back to the Asylum. We come back to the Asylums at 2 or 3 times. We come back here.
We come back twice. Once before Blighttown to get the rusted iron ring, and then later on to get the Titanite slab. Yeah,
and also when we come back for Blighttown, we also do pick up the Crest Shield,
which is a great shield. I mean, you can come back here straight away, but the enemies are
significantly tougher.
Yeah, so again, it's not recommended for new players. But coming back here before Blighttown is fine.
Yeah, you want to come back here before Blighttown. It's not too difficult, but it's still going to catch a couple of new players off guard.
We'll get to that point when it comes to it. And we also show you a great way of being able to defeat the stray demon down here, which is really hard for new players. I remember having a tough time with it, but now it's really
I remember Ryan still has a tough time with it.
Well, I mean, like I said, new players, it's difficult.
So, I'm assuming you're playing this, because if that was me, I would have parried him. So... That's just me. I just parry people all the time.
Well, okay, thanks for that. Anyway, right, so next part to mention is that when you come through here, double hand your weapon and do a jump attack, which is forward and R2. Instead of just dropping off and attacking one-handed, if you do a double-handed jump attack, you do so much more damage.
And with the battle axe, I've noticed the battle axe is the most consistent weapon for hitting him twice. Sometimes you'll hit him once and you'll take away about half his health. Other times you'll hit him twice and you'll take away as much as we did just there.
Which was about 2/3.
Which, yeah, it was more than 2/3. It must have been near enough 3/4 of his health came off there.
Anyway, we killed the Asylum Demon and that's him down. As you see, once you drop attack him, you just hit him a few times. His attacks are easy enough to dodge.
Yeah, two-hand your battle axe. It gives you like an extra 2 or 3 damage. I mean, it's not a lot, but it helps kinda. As you seen there, like we were one-handing it a couple of times there, and it brought his health into more or less nothing. If we two-handed for one more attack, he would have died. So this is our first soul packet. It's only a measly 200, but it's convenient that not a lot of people actually know about that soul packet. I've not seen anyone do a Dark Souls gameplay.
It does add to our actual soul count that we need.
That's where Snuggly shows up. We'll talk more about Snuggly when it comes to it later on when we're actually looking for Twinkling.
We have nothing to actually be able to give Snuggly right now. I think we can give her the Old Witch's Ring, or we give her something to get the Old Witch's Ring.
Yeah, you give her something to get the Old Witch's Ring. You don't want to do that anyway. That's a bad idea.
Now, to mention the Old Witch's Ring, you can get it from 1 Snuggly and 2 taking it as a starting gift. The Old Witch's Ring only has one purpose in the game, and that's to talk to Quelaag's sister, which we'll also mention again when we get there.
Yeah, we'll get to the lore about Quelaag and his sister when it comes to Blighttown, because that's... I mean, that is a very good bit of lore, but I don't think that lore is anywhere near as interesting as Priscilla, Havel, Kirk.
Well, I mean, I really like
get to that.
Quelaag's sister's lore.
Yeah, Quelaag's sister's lore is really good. She's actually nice.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few nice characters.
Dark Souls has this repetitive cliche of fallen heroes by the sound of it, really.
Yeah.
It's like everything you think is evil is actually a good guy who's just broken down to a sense where they don't know their purpose anymore.
Anyway,
so, getting to Firelink Shrine, and it's time to do our start and run essentially. Just follow this run exactly as we do. Do we die in the graveyard? I think
we do die in the graveyard. Now, the thing is, we actually devised a way of running through the graveyard which should give you no trouble. Now, you might think, oh well, he died this one time, but when you see how I died, it was really a very luck-based thing because I got trapped into a corner by a random skeleton, which never happened any of the other times. Again, Dark Souls has that random element to it. But if you take this run that we show you, you should be able to make it in one smooth motion straight through the graveyard.
Essentially, as long as you don't die twice in a row without picking up your souls, all your souls are going to match up instantly. So right here, you can see that as soon as we get out, we're going to start putting points into our faith. You want to spend these souls right now so that when you're doing your suicide run, you're running with as little as possible. Yeah, exactly. If you do die, you'll lose the minimum amount of souls possible, so that's fine.
The point to make is that because we're taking soul packets and not trying to grind souls off enemies, if you do die and this is all the souls that you've got, it really doesn't matter because all your souls are in soul packet form when it comes to leveling up.
So yeah, we went the wrong way here, but...
The first thing we do, we actually pick up some of the items here.
So 3 humanity, which is always handy. That used to be 1, but they actually increased the amount of souls you get and the amount of humanity that's on that little well there as well.
The next thing is that you want to save up all these humanity as well. Now, although I mentioned that we don't do the covenants, we do one covenant, and that is the Chaos Covenant, because we wanted to show you how to actually complete Solaire's quest line and to show you the shortcut that actually gives you into Lost Islip, which is very late game things, and although we're mentioning these things, it's important to mention them at this point to actually give context to them later.
So, yeah, more soul packets. Now, not a lot of people know about that soul packet either, which is something that you don't see it in a lot of start and run videos. So basically what we're doing here is just finishing up by picking up all the souls that are around actually the Firelink Shrine, and then we're going to go to the nearby areas and grab them as well. Yeah,
because what we do is we pick up the soul packets in the shrine itself, and then when it comes to it, when you go up to the back of the shrine, you're able to slide down into the graveyard.
Yeah. So this is the reason why we don't go to the graveyard right away, because that's where the graveyard was there over on the left, is because there's items around here that lead you to the graveyard anyway. Now
there was Petrus, who we will be coming to buy the Healing Miracle off and to buy the Thorlin Talisman off later.
Thorlin Talisman is actually after you've taken on the first proper boss of the game.
Yeah.
I wouldn't count the Taurus Demon as an actual boss, it's more of a test your skills kind of thing, because once again, just like the Asylum Demon, all you need is 100 block shield. If you got 100 physical block shield, which you do in the Spider Shield, then you're perfectly fine and he's not an issue at all.
So we pick up these items here, and then we
so these items actually play I'll actually go into the lore about why these items are here.
It's Petrus's stash.
Late game. Yeah, it's to do with Petrus, and we'll explain more about that once the appropriate NPCs show up at the shrine, and once the appropriate storyline has been completed and such.
Unequip these unnecessary items, and when we just have the shield and no weapon, it means that we can have a fast roll.
So
we quickly grab that soul packet, and then I run back to the bonfire so I can de-aggro the enemies and start the run properly, because you want to get the soul packet first. That way, you don't. I mean, you could miss out and just do the run anyway, but we just decided to get the soul packet because we could. So although when we start the run again, I do die, but again, like I said, that isn't an important factor. Only have 57 souls, and that really doesn't matter when it comes to the beginning level ups that we need. So we run, essentially just follow this path. So first of all, we run down here and we want to get that soul packet that's on the edge of the cliff there.
It's nice.
So we take the large soul and then we run back. Now from here you want to go down this little bit here, down the stairs to get the Caduceus round shield. Now the Caduceus round shield is an incredibly underrated shield and was ridiculously handy for doing the Moonlight Butterfly.
It didn't help you here though.
It didn't help me there, but for doing the Moonlight Butterfly it was very good because we hadn't went back to the Asylum and got the Crest shield at that point. Now the Crest shield is better than the Caduceus round shield.
Yeah, without doubt. But no questions asked.
The fact that we didn't have it was essentially second to none. Yeah,
the Caduceus round shield, I believe, has got like a 65 magic block or something like that. The Crest shield has an 80 or 85. The point is, the Caduceus round shield blocked more than half the damage. The Moonlight Butterfly uses purely magic attacks, so your physical doesn't matter. Caduceus round shield was the highest magic block shield we had, so it was beneficial to grab this in the beginning. Plus the fact it only weighs 2, so it's not a very heavy shield either.
Yeah.
So
it does near enough 100% physical block as well.
Yeah,
so like I said,
90 or something like that. So
when you come down here, you just grab the souls and then you grab the shield. You run back up the hill. There is where that soul
leads
packet
to the catacombs.
Left leads to the catacombs, but don't go there.
That's late
game.
You want to run up
here. Grab that, which is an amazing sword for strength builds.
It's an amazing sword for any build that has 16 strength. If you want to level up, the jumping attack on it staggers most humanoid bosses, which is actually really handy because it blocks their attacks, and this is just beautiful.
Now, you roll up here, and we actually only discovered this when we first started. Doing
we
this
didn't
game.
know this path was here, so there you go. Still discovering things 2 years later. Who knew?
So we can essentially start from the beginning and get every item in one running loop, and then run back. So as you can see, the run does work. It just so happened that I died because of that one skeleton.
Yeah. So the question of whether the run works or not, there's not really a point because it just showed you right there. It works apart from one death where you lost a grand total of 57 souls.
Yeah.
And even at that, you end up with having a couple of hundred spare anyway, so it wouldn't have really mattered if you died.
So we rest back at the bonfire, and then I'm pretty sure the next thing we either grab the souls up there, or
I
we
believe
go back
it's.
to Londo.
I decide to take the Londo run. So right now,
okay, we're running back up there.
Yeah, I suppose so. So we put on the Caduceus shield because you can actually still fast roll without taking off any armor. That's up to you. If you want to fast roll, you've not got a 100 block shield, but as you can see there, we get hit there while blocking. It done basically nothing. So you can either stick with the spider shield and take off your gauntlets, or you can the helmet rather, because it's lighter, or put on the Caduceus shield where you're full armor. But the spider shield is your 100 block, which is what I personally prefer. So
and I preferred the having more armor and.
Yeah, he prefers absorbing more damage to having the chance to block it completely. I'm a little bit more risky with that, and the fact that I could probably go through this full game without wearing any armor and just a shield, and I'd be fine with that.
Yeah. So we want to take care of these hollows, and this just allows us to get the soul packet safely. Obviously.
And it gives us a couple of extra 100 souls that we can actually use to level up
as well.
So there's a soul packet over here, and there's a little friend at the beginning of this tunnel who absolutely hates me because it's a rat, and rats are good because rats have the highest humanity drop rate in this game.
But they never drop from humanity. But
yeah, aside from the humanity DLC, but the rats have got the best chance for dropping humanity, both because they've got a high drop rate of it, and another because in the depths there is a legion of them. So now we're walking off here. It's probably the best way to do that because you don't need to make the fatal jump from the bottom ledge.
So you want to keep running forward and then
angle towards it. Yeah, you want to just sort of edge out a little bit. and then drop back in, because there's a Ring of Sacrifice back here. It's a completely useless item because there's better ones later on. So
yeah, you can get the rare Ring of Sacrifice, and really you only need to use the rare Ring of Sacrifice once ever.
Yeah, there's only one time where the game forces you to go through a death phase, so I mean you can skip that with a shortcut, but we didn't show you that shortcut because of course it's a difficult shortcut. It's not going to happen first time.
Yeah, so we can jump over there. The jump back is much easier than the jump there. And then it is off down to...
Just in case you don't know how to jump, you sprint and then tap circle again while running. Just in case you don't know how to jump, alright? Make sure you have your shield down, because if you're running with your shield up, you'll end up rolling instead, so it's not good for jumping, but that is...
So I think it now is off to New Londo to get our first Firekeeper soul. Now you use these Firekeeper souls, and there's 7 of them in the game, and we're getting the first one, and you use these to upgrade your Estus flask, and when you upgrade it, it lets you heal more. So,
but that's not going to be that important, because we're going to have the heal miracle, which heals to the equivalent of an Estus plus 3.
Something like that. Anyway.
Yeah, when we've got the talisman after we take on the gargoyles, you'll see that the heal miracle heals a lot more. So
now eventually we stop using the heal miracle because essentially, I mean, we're just too pro. What do you know?
It's more at the point of the build levels up enough, starts to get enough vitality, enough armor that you don't actually take as much damage. It's best to use the heal miracle out of combat and keep your Estus for in combat, because it's far quicker. Just in case you need that quick heal, it's better to use that instead.
So here we want to show you the secret blacksmith. Here is Rickert, and there, if you're going a sorcerer build, you can buy some. He's the earliest person that you're able to buy castings off, but they are
double the price.
Yeah, they're more expensive, but it's still useful because you can just grind hollows for a while.
Our good friend, the S-Stock.
So yeah, we get the S-Stock, which is a great weapon.
Yeah, it's probably the best thrusting sword.
In our opinion, I mean, when it comes to Dark Souls weapons...
So there's Transient Curse in there, but we're not picking them up yet because it's later on in the game.
There's Transient Curse,
yeah,
but
I
didn't pick up just in case we accidentally used them, whatever, and it's not clogging up the menu. So we'll get the Transient Curse later.
So you only want to have Homeward Bones on your bottom bar, by the way, because you need to use them instantly here. This might take you a little bit of practice, but basically you want to run, try not to get hit of course, you want to run and just don't go to either side, just run straight towards the item.
Forward. Although it looks, when you hit the ghost, you look as if you're sort of coming off the edge a little bit there, like that, just don't bother, don't try and...
Grab it, get to the back corner and then Homeward Bone the hell out of there.
Yeah. A lot of people just seem to get killed by the ghost and not use a Homeward Bone for some reason, but Homeward Bones are invaluable.
It's more to the point of, it depends on how many souls they've got. Because if the Homeward Bone, if they've got less than 800 souls, then it's not worth using a Homeward Bone. Because Homeward Bones cost 800, so they don't lose anything by dying. They get the same effect that they save themselves a Homeward Bone. But that's really...
neither here nor there. Yeah. If you want to save time or souls, but whatever.
So this is where we upgrade Arrestus. Arrestus now goes to +1, which means we've immediately got a bonus for healing right off the start of the game, which is brilliant. And now I believe it's just round to pick up the last couple of souls and back to the bonfire to finish levelling up and buying our heal miracles.
It's true.
So that's us.
We want to now go back to Londo, taking the lift.
This is where the master key shows its worth instantly.
Because without the master key, this part of the run just wouldn't be possible.
Yeah, because you can't open that door until after Blighttown unless you get the master key, and Blighttown I would say is about maybe the halfway point of the game's difficulty. That's where the game starts.
Sort of ramps up a little bit.
The learning curve becomes a little bit more intense.
Well, I wouldn't say Blighttown, maybe the Gaping Dragon itself, because to new players that can be a pain.
Yeah. So, a soul packet behind that gate. Later on down this path, not the one that we're walking on now, but the one that we were walking on.
The left side of the cliff there.
Yeah, just at the end there, an armour set will spawn after you've defeated the 4 kings.
Again, we'll come back to that when we get the armour set later on, but it's good to mention it every time we pass, just to make sure if you're in that area, and we pass an area, then you know it's there for
and if you get an item before we do, because you've done the 4 kings before we have, then you know why it's there and why it isn't there for us. So here you want to get the items behind his head first.
Yeah,
pick this soul packet.
Now I've managed to devise a way of being able to dodge this attack. You want to have your fast roll, you run into the middle of the items, you pick them up as quickly as possible, and you move the analog stick back and roll immediately. And
then just dodge the rest of his attacks by sprinting away. I tried this and the wings clipped me off the edge, which was a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can do that. That right there gives you the Astora's Straight Sword, which is a really good weapon if you're starting with the cleric build, because it scales with it upgrades with Twinkling Titanite, and it scales based on your faith magic stats. So, I mean, if you're going for a high faith build, then Astora's Straight Sword's a very good weapon to start off with. I believe it's over 200 damage just for picking it up. And this is where we were showing you. There's Blighttown, and just previously there we were showing you where the Beatrice set will spawn later. So Story straight sword, and we picked up the Dragon Crest shield, a very, very good fire defense shield. It's got really high fire defense.
Essentially, if you don't pick up a Black Knight shield, which isn't guaranteed going through the game, we do manage to get one luckily, but it isn't guaranteed.
Yeah, we do actually use it as well, so
if you pick it up, then it's fine. Then, like, if you pick up the Black Knight shield, you obviously use that. Otherwise, if you're versing fire-based enemies, then you want to be using the crest shield.
Yeah, I believe we do use the. I believe we use the Black Knight shield against Centipede Demon.
Yeah, I think we did.
Yeah, we used the Black Knight shield against Centipede Demon. Did we use it against Gwyn?
It was either that or the Boulder shield.
Not sure, but yeah. So this is us. That's our start run completed. Now I believe the last thing we need to do is just buy the items off Petrus, and that'll be the end of the Firelink Shrine run.
Yeah, so we run up Petrus and then we pop our soul packets.
Yeah, it'll take you a couple of minutes to just pop all these soul packets, but once you have, it means you can buy all the items off Petrus. Make sure you buy the items first before you level up, because you want to make sure that the only thing you're leveling up with is souls that are left over. You need to. The only thing you want to buy off him here.
Oh, for Petrus, you need to talk to him, and you need to keep talking to him until he will you say, "What's the decision for the miracles?" And then
he's asking you if you want to join his covenant. You join his covenant, it becomes a vendor. But later on, don't worry about joining his covenant now. Just join it, because later on you'll meet a guy after the gargoyles who will let you leave the covenant without sinning. But we'll cover what sinning and all that is when we get to him as well, because we need to go over like his menu options and shit like that. So that's perfectly fine. So the only thing you want to buy here is the heal miracle. So you want to pop all the soul packets that we have on us. We were just joining the covenant there, so we're going to pop all these soul packets. Should give us more than enough souls to buy everything we need and level up as much as we need as well.
Yeah, I mean, so long as you've done all the runs exactly like we do, then you should be able to replicate this exactly the same.
And you don't need to buy the Thorolin talisman here, because one of the things you picked up in the chest on the way to the graveyard was actually the standard talisman. It's the worst talisman in the game, but it will do until
it will still, like at 12 faith, it will still heal you more than an upgraded Estus will. So
it'll heal you about the same as an Estus +1, I believe. So
yeah, something like that. It does heal a decent amount.
So yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about that. So right now, as I said, pop the soul packets, buy your stuff off Petrus, and level up exactly as we do, and your build will be well on its way to making Dark Souls player versus environment extremely easy.
Yep.
Like about halfway through the game, this build just gets ridiculously insane. Like it just bosses become so trivialized. Pyromancy really is broken.
Yeah, we should probably mention what the build is. The build is essentially
the 3 minutes we've got left.
Yeah. All it is us leveling up. So the build is essentially a vitality build, where just putting most of our points into vitality and then just having minimum stat requirements. We have 20. We end up with the finished build essentially has like about 38 vitality, 26 endurance, which allows us to use the claymore with the Balder shield and the pyromancy glove and a full set of crimson armor, and still get a light roll, which is what we're aiming for.
While using the ring of favour and protection.
Yeah. Whilst using that, we're obviously using the ring of favour and protection because it's good. Now here, immediately, you want, after you level up the first time, you want to level up your dexterity to 11 and your attunement to 10. You need 10 attunement to be able to have.
Oh yeah, it's only 12 faith, not 14. Sorry for heal. I said it was 14 earlier. It's actually 12, so that's beautiful. So now we've got our heal spell attuned, and now it's just putting on our talisman onto our right hand, and that's essentially it. That's the finished build so far for Firelink Shrine. So follow that run, do as we do, and you'll have a build as good as ours from the beginning, essentially.
Yeah, and that is pretty much everything you can get during the game, which is not too difficult. Like, that doesn't involve crazy runs into Blighttown or through the Valley of the Drakes. This is everything that is easy to get.
So yeah, we're gonna go right now. So we'll see you in the next video where we go through.
Bye.
Berg.